Hi, welcome back. I'm Katie Kempner here live at the Huffington Post stage at Advertising Week. So in addition to my role at CPB, I am also the creator and host of an online talk show, which is a series of inspiring conversations with remarkable working women who balance really busy lives. It's called Perspectives with Katie Kempner, and if you'd like to check it out, you can go to katiekempner-perspectives.com. And I definitely have a remarkable working woman with me right now, my guest, Nancy Reyes, who is the Managing Director of GSP New York. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Katie.
So how long has GSP New York been open?
We just opened, actually, in January of this year, so I guess that's about 8 months.
And how did you come to do this?
Well, it was interesting. I lived in San Francisco with my husband for about 10 years, and we had a second kid, or we were pregnant with a second kid, and we really wanted to come back east. And we started to think about opportunities and job opportunities on the East Coast. And actually, GSP Silverstein & Partners said, well, what if we opened up an office in New York? Would you stay with us? Would you run it? And I said, sign me up. I would love to do that. It was an amazing thing because it's a great company that takes care of its people. So it was really just so flattering and awesome that they would recognize me and do that.
That's extraordinary. So there's a GSP New York basically because of you.
Yeah, well, because of me and my partner, Christian Haas, because the office was never really legit in my mind until we had a creative presence. Mm-hmm. And so the one condition I had on the office was I'll do it if we take it seriously and have a huge creative presence there, and if Christian comes along, and he did. So the office was born.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, opening a new office, especially for such a well-known and prestigious advertising agency where the bar is set so high, has got to be a lot of pressure. Moving is a lot of pressure. Relocating children and, your husband, that's so much. So how were you able to give the attention to your personal life and your children that you needed to, and also your work?
Well, I think that's one of the main reasons we moved back, because you need help. We did not have any help in San Francisco. All of our family, my husband's family in particular, lives in Pennsylvania. So we actually moved to a new house, had a baby within 3 days of that move, and then I started work again, I guess, a few months after that. And the only way we did it was because his parents were around, his sister was around, and we actually had people who could help us make all those transitions together. The other thing that I'm blessed with is that my husband doesn't work. He stays at home with the kids.
Really?
And that's the only way I can do this and actually spend a good amount of time at my job and do a good job at that, and also feel like my kids are well taken care of and the house is well taken care of because Daddy's home.
It's interesting. I've heard that more and more in the past couple days. I mean, roles seem to be the traditional, if you will. Why did I just do that? The traditional roles seem to not be, which is great. They seem to be a little more fluid these days.
Yeah.
From the beginning, was your husband, saying like, when you have a kid, I'll stay home, or did it come?
No,
how did that come about?
It worked out perfectly, actually. I think he's always been really supportive of the career and whatever we want to do. We moved to San Francisco for his job, and then really I was the one who wanted to move back to the East Coast, and my job ended up working out. And he left his job, he was a banker, and said, you know what, maybe I should try something else. Maybe I'll just take some time off and figure out what to do, and in the meantime, spend time with the girls. We had this moment, we had 6 months where we were home with our kids together because I was on maternity leave and he wasn't working, and we were living in fantasy land. It's like, I can't believe that we're home together with our girls. They're going to think, you don't have to work. They're going to think this is great. Mommy and Daddy are around all the time. That was an important step. And I think building the way that we now manage the house and the whole personal and work-life balance. Mm-hmm. But my husband is happy to be home. He definitely does stuff on the side, does some real estate stuff, some investment stuff. But he is really sitting there saying, these girls will say, oh my God, Daddy stayed home with me. My daddy, my daddy, my daddy. They're Daddy's girls. It's awesome.
And also you're giving your girls a terrific example of what a strong woman can accomplish.
Yeah.
Now, I have to ask this question, and I hope it doesn't come across wrong, but you look so young.
God bless you. Thank you.
You're doing something right. Have you found, as a woman and also as a relatively young-looking woman, that it's been more difficult for you in business getting taken seriously?
It has. I do remember a while ago I worked on an account, and I worked on the pitch. And years later, my client told me the story of, after the pitch, he went home and told his wife, oh my God, they put the intern on my account. And And he said, I didn't have the courage to tell you that then, but there was definitely a sense of like, wow, she's doing a lot of talking. Wow, I don't know about this one. But you sort of let it, you just let it happen. And I always just felt like I had to put my head down. I had to know my stuff really, really well, so I could always be confident and passionate about what I was saying, what I was arguing. And then the age becomes irrelevant. So long as you behave as smart as you are, and as much as you know the stuff in front of you, the age part doesn't matter. But it has happened. I definitely get that a lot. I've definitely been asked that a lot. I feel it. And then it goes away eventually, so long as I'm on my game.
So now this is a question, it almost sounds ridiculous to ask because people ask this question all the time. But I mean, as a woman, in this business who has achieved a lot of success with children, why don't you think that there are more women at the top in advertising?
Well, I think that women make choices. I do think that the choice of continuing on the path has not always been there. Whether it is because you have kids or, you may not have a person ahead of you that you want to be that becomes a mentor. I've always been in this business and said to myself, if I can picture what my boss is doing, I'll keep going. And I've been doing that, and pretty much the entire time I've had a male boss. But it has been hard. How do I learn from this person? Does this person really understand what I'm going to have to go through? There's not a whole lot of role models at the top, which means less and less women, as they grow, feel like they can be at the top alongside other women. I think there's just too few people to model ourselves after. And there's a thing where you do make a choice. And it's not a bad choice to say, I'm going to stay at home. That's a perfectly fine, respectable, wonderful thing to do. Very few women, I think, feel like their path is to continue to the top.
Yeah. That's an excellent point. So my last question, do you have one piece of advice for the women walking around here today, maybe starting out in their career or looking to make a change? I like to always ask my guests this at the end. What would that one piece of advice be?
I would say put your head down and know your stuff. I feel like that has been the key to my thing, where I really I make sure I study what I want to know. I rehearse all the time. I practice things. I understand the problems that we're trying to solve, how the work that we're going to present addresses those problems. The more you know, the more powerful you are. It really, to me, is a knowledge thing. And then let the woman thing, let the age thing, let any other thing go by the wayside, because it's all about how much you know and how persuasively you're able to sell it.
Yeah, that's terrific. Thank you. It was a pleasure to talk with you.
Nice to be here, Katie. Thank you.
And thank you so much. Please stay with us for more episodes of Perspectives here at Advertising Week. Thanks.